welcome to your back stretching video. So for this video today, we are purely doing stretches for your back. I will do a little bit for upper back as well, but predominantly this will be for your lower back, okay? I'm feeling for you if you are struggling at the moment. A lot of heat is going to help, so a nice warm bath, maybe a hot water bottle or a heat pad if you have one, just to place on the lower back. Be great to have something handy for after this sequence as well, just to have some heat there for you, okay? I am going to be using a chair as a prop. Doesn't have to be a chair. It could be a ledge of a unit, a windowsill, a table. It's only literally for the first few minutes of this video, just because I don't want to bring you straight down onto the ground if your back is flaring up, okay? I also have a little cushion, a little pillow prop here. It's not massive. It's just simply to lift the floor height a little bit for you when we come to lying on our backs and some seated hamstring stretches. So if you've got a little pillow close by as well, that would be great. So whenever you're ready, I invite you to take hold of your prop. So I'm going to have my hands on my chair. I'm going to step back away from the chair so that I can lengthen the spine. Now I'd like you to bend your knees slightly here. So both knees are bent. Your tailbone, your coccyx, tilt it right up to the ceiling. So think about lengthening the back of your legs, extending the arms, and then as you breathe out, just allow your body to drop down towards the ground, lengthening the spine, finding some space through the vertebrae here in the back, and just allowing your body to go to where it naturally falls to. That's very important throughout today's video. Don't force yourself anywhere. If your back is feeling a bit niggly, a bit sore, a bit sensitive, just let it go to where it wants to. Don't force it to go beyond its natural comfort zone. We're going to cat and cow here. So I'm going to curve my back, bringing my back to the ceiling as I bring my chin to my chest. And then I'm going to go the other way and drop my belly down to the ground as I look forwards towards my prop. So I'm going to do that a few times. I'm rounding the back, bringing the chin to the chest, curving my spine. And then as I drop my chest down, I'm going to lift my eye line and look forwards. Let's do this one more time. So curving through the back, chin to the chest as I round the spine, and then drop down, letting the belly drop to the floor as the eye line looks forwards. Gorgeous. Okay, let's peel up. Walk your feet in slowly towards your props. I'm bringing my feet towards my chair, softening the knees still, bringing the body close. I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and take my eye line to look up towards the ceiling now, curving into the lower back. So I'm tilting my tailbone, my pelvis, lifting it high, really curving through the spine here as I open the chest. Let's ease off, find a neutral spine. So maybe have a little wriggle, a little fidget through the back. Leaving the right hand on my prop, I wrap my left arm behind my back and look gently over the left shoulder. So a gentle twist here, looking over the left shoulder, right hands on the prop. Knees are still bent, we're not locking out the legs. Then we'll change, gently popping the left hand onto the prop. Right arm wraps behind the back and I look over my right shoulder now. So gently peeling, looking over the right shoulder. Now as I come back to center, I'm going to cross my arms. So I'm going to pop my left arm over the top of my right. Doesn't matter which way, as long as you do both. I've then stepped a little bit away from the prop, arms are crossed, and I'm simply going to bring my chin to my chest and round my upper back. So it feels a bit restrictive at first, so we're crossing over, so you're going to feel wonky here. Just want to isolate into each side of the upper back individually. So arms across, chins on the chest, curving through. I'm rounding through the lower back as well. And then I'm going to stay here in this curved spine as I simply change sides. So I take my left arm underneath my right now, rounding the back a little bit more. Thinking about those shoulder blades in the upper back, really try and get them away from one another. And then we'll peel up and just give those arms a bit of a shake out, okay? So I'm going to turn my prop around now. I'm literally only doing one hamstring stretch using the chair. So if you haven't got a chair, don't worry. If you're using a kitchen worktop, don't try and hoik your leg up that high because it might hurt. So I'm going to pop my right leg gently onto my chair, bending into the left leg. Don't lock that leg out. Hands are on the hips to keep them out the way. And I'm going to hinge forwards. Not going really far, not worrying about touching my toes or kissing my knee or anything like that. I'm literally allowing this muscle in the back of the right thigh to open out. So back injuries, right, a whole huge world there, but sometimes it could be caused to tight hamstrings. It could be caused due to tight glutes, your big muscle in the bum, tight hips, okay? All of these things, your body is all connected. So even if your knee is a bit sore, that might be something to do with the fact that your hip's out of alignment. Or if your shoulder is feeling a little bit uncomfortable, that could be due to the way you're carrying yourself or the shoulder on the other side causing an imbalance, okay? So don't just think you've got a problem with your back, because that's not always necessarily the case. Okay, so let's change sides. So this is why in today's video, you will find that I do sneak in quite a lot of hamstring stretches and even some glute stretches in today's session, because that will help release all of this tension, all of this pressure around your back. Okay, so here we are tilting the pelvis high, lengthening that left leg. And if you are finding that your hamstrings, which is this muscle in the back of the thigh, if you're finding they're really tight, that might be the reason why you're struggling with your lower back. So maybe you need to visit more of the members area and look for the hamstring specific stretching videos and work on the hamstrings, which will therefore ease up your lower back. Okay? Right, let's bring ourselves off. Let's pop our prop out of the way now, okay? So out of the way with the prop. I'm going to have the pillow close by though, okay? Forgot about that, sorry. We're going to have the pillow close by. So let's have our feet hip distance. Already your legs, your back might be feeling a little looser. I invite you to bring the chin to the chest, to round the arms forwards, let them hang. I don't want them to be touching toes or knees, just let them hang. Now curve down, bending both knees. I'm looking at my belly first. Then I'm going to roll down a little bit further and look through my thighs. As you're coming down towards the ground, I want you to think about your tailbone, the coccyx, coming up towards the ceiling. So if I was there, I'd have my hands on my hips and I'd be tilting you so your pelvis is coming up as your body is going down. Knees are staying soft, and I simply invite you to dangle. So make sure there's no tension in the head, in the shoulders, in the arms. It doesn't matter if your arms are touching the floor. I just want you to dangle here and start to sway. Now, when I say sway, it's the whole body, not the arms. You're swaying from the hips and gently moving the body side to side. Now, your body is designed to move. It doesn't like to be still. Now, a common theme when people have a bad back is they tend to seize up because they want to protect their body, so they don't want to do too much. Whereas actually, we need to move this body just gently, not anything crazy, but we just need to get the oxygen moving around the body so that we can start to repair and look after any problems that we have, okay? Right, take your time. Going to come all the way down onto all fours. I don't mind how you get there. Just coming down onto your hands and knees. Now that sway is going to come into your hips. So just invite you to gently sway side to side. Very important with your movement here today. Don't move too fast, okay? Just move as slow as you feel comfortable. Rocking the hips side to side. Maybe you start to bend into the upper back as well. Maybe you want a side bend. Don't be afraid to have a full-on wriggle, a full-on circle through the back, whatever comes naturally to you. Please don't worry about feeling silly. Who cares? As long as your back feels better, no one's bothered, right? So we're just going to move into the back, circle, sideways, whatever comes to you. Let's come into child's pose. So bringing your bottom to your heels. If you can't get your bottom to your heels, now's a great time to incorporate the pillow. And then we're going to extend both arms forwards, bringing your forehead down to the ground, okay? So maybe you'd like to take your knees a bit wider. You have to find a comfortable resting spot here. Maybe you're using a prop, a pillow between the bottom and the heels. But breathe into that lower back. So really imagine and visualize any tension around the lower back at the top of the pelvis. Visualize it leaving the body. And just resting here. The breath is going to be very important as you move through these stretches today. Like I say, we want to get the oxygen moving around the body. We want to allow the muscles to lengthen, to reset, so that they're not pulling on the ligaments, the skeletal system. Everything is relaxed and softened. Therefore, no tension, no niggles. Staying here with the bottom half, taking a side reach. So both arms come over to the left. You pop your right arm on top of your left hand. So my right hand comes on top of the left. You square off your chest to the ground and let the body melt down through those arms. So now we're in child's pose. We're taking a little side stretch through the right hand side body. So down past the rib cage, into the hips, the pelvis here. So big breath into the right side body. And then slowly taking it to the other side. So both hands coming over to the right, left hand on top of the right hand, and easing the chest down towards the ground. So even if you have one side of the back that's particularly niggly, very important to do both sides at the same time so that we make sure if one side is a bit sore, we're not using the other side and making any issues for ourselves there. So slowly bringing yourself back to center, hands under the shoulders, coming into cat and cow like we did with our prop earlier. So inhaling, dropping the belly down to the ground, eye line looks forwards. Exhaling, reversing chin to chest and curving the spine. So going between these two, as you can see, I'm not transferring or moving my weight forward or backwards. I'm not bending into the elbows to get the shape here. I'm simply moving through the spine to create this stretch into the back. Okay, so taking your time to do this one, great one to do first thing in the morning, just to gently awaken the spinal column and to get some mobility through the back. When you're ready, we're going to bring the pillow round, placing the pillow kind of where your left hand was. Now taking your left arm out to the side, we thread the left arm underneath the right arm. Bring your left ear onto your pillow. Allow the body to soften, to settle here as you lift your bottom high and then reach the right arm to the top of the mat. So yes, this is making space for our lower back, but this is a gorgeous way to open out and to release any muscular tension through the upper back at the same time. So head, shoulders, neck, that area of the body. Gently bend your right arm to enable yourself to push up. And we'll change sides. So we'll slide the pillow across. The right arm goes underneath the left arm now as your right ear comes down to the ground. And then reaching the left arm to the top of the mat. So don't be afraid to really tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling. So lifting the tailbone high. Allowing the head to melt down into that pillow. Opening out through the shoulder blades. Taking a gorgeous breath here as you slowly allow yourself to go a bit deeper into this pose. Gently bending the left arm, pressing yourself away from the ground whenever you're ready. Now we're going to leave the pillow where it is. We're going to turn ourselves around and bring our bottoms onto the pillow. So you're going to take a seat on the pillow. Now I invite you to keep both knees bent. Don't worry about touching your toes or having perfectly straight legs. Not after that today. We're sitting on the pillow, both knees bent, hands either side of your legs. Now you'll hinge forwards. Think about bringing the ribs to the thighs and then allow the body to melt over. So making sure there's no areas of tension through the body, because if you have tension in your jaw, this could lead to tension in your hips and your legs and your back. So allow everything to soften here. Now I mentioned earlier about stretching out parts of the legs and the glutes as well. So this you will feel down the back of the hamstrings, yeah? So we're going to stretch into the backs of the legs here as well. So allowing the head to soften, the shoulders to relax, slowing down our breath while we're here. And then we'll slowly peel ourselves up to seated. As you do, see if you can straighten your legs. Maybe that works today, maybe it doesn't. Keeping the shoulders over the hips. Now we're going to take the hands behind the back. Maybe you could hold your wrists, or you might be able to slide a little further down and hold towards your elbows, okay, wherever comfortable for you. We roll the shoulders down the back, really try and open the chest. Eye line looks forwards. And just taking a few slow, steady breaths here, okay? So in life at the moment, our whole body is posing forward. So the shoulders start to round forwards. The hip flexors get a little shorter, a little tighter. And therefore, this is pulling our back out of alignment. So sometimes it's very important just to work on a straight back and opening out through the chest, making space, trying to maybe keep these legs straight to work on the hamstrings, the hip flexors whilst we are here. So let's take one more breath here. Slow and steady, allowing yourself to settle. And then gently taking the hands away. Now we're going to stay seated on the pillow, but we're going to come a lot further forward so that we can have space behind us. So I'm sliding the pillow down, my bottom's still on it. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. Once your head is rested on the floor, bottom's on the pillow, bring both knees in towards your chest. Take hold of those legs and ease them in towards you. Find some stillness here. While we're finding stillness through the lower body, I invite you to turn your head side to side, just moving through the neck here, releasing off, making sure that our upper back is feeling okay. So we carry a lot of stress through the shoulders and the neck, so it's very important to take a little movement into the upper neck at the same time. Allow the head to settle in center. I'm going to leave the legs where they are. I'm going to take the pillow out from underneath my bottom now. I'm going to take it and place it behind my head. So I'm going to put the pillow behind my head. Now I'm going to take hold of the legs again and ease them in towards me. Notice how different that feels. And then we're just going to gently massage the lower back. So rocking side to side here, massaging the lower back on the ground. Getting a little bit of movement, remembering how important it is to move our bodies, to get the fluid moving around the body, to improve circulation, and the body will benefit for that, okay? Let's pop our feet down onto the ground, taking both feet to the outside edges of your mat here. So allowing the head to soften into the pillow, both feet to the outside edges of the mat, and then we're going to start to gently rock our knees side to side. So I'm simply rocking the legs to the right, to the left, not worrying about how massive this movement is, just simply enjoying the fact that it is movement and noticing how the body responds to this. And then we'll slowly drop both legs over to the right. Now you notice my legs are not together at all. The right knee is dropping down towards the ground. The left knee is dropping down towards the floor. And I'm opening out through my hip flexor, my psoas on the left-hand side, whilst I press that knee down. Head and shoulders are fully relaxed into the pillow. There's no tension in the upper body here at all. Smoothly take the legs over to the left now. So now the right knee gently falls down towards the ground, noticing each side of the body, the difference. Maybe you feel the stretch more in a particular area of the body on one side compared to the other. Obviously, both sides are never going to be exactly the same because that would be odd, okay? So let's slowly come back to center. Straighten both legs away from you. Maybe give them a little wriggle jiggle. Have a little fidget. We all know I like a little fidget. And then hugging the right knee in towards the chest. So the right knee only. We're going to find some stillness here as you ease that leg in. This is a great stretch to do first thing in the morning before you even get out of bed. If you struggle with your back, this is a really good one to do. Obviously, overnight, you get cozy, your body gets stiff, it gets a bit, all stuck together, and jumping out of bed and rushing on with your day straight away is not always good, okay? Your muscles are cold. So a little stretch first thing in the morning is a good idea just to ease your body delicately into your day. So let's lengthen that right leg away. We'll hug the left leg in. So this one you could do in bed, just hugging one knee in towards the chest, taking a slow, steady breath, and just allowing the glutes, the lower back, everything to open ever so slightly. Just allowing things to unravel rather than forcing them into a fast-paced world. Let's bend both knees, popping those knees down. We're going to take the right foot, pop it on top of the left leg, coming into a figure 4 stretch. So we're not using hands or anything. I want to keep the upper body really relaxed here. We are pressing the right foot into the thigh and getting to press that right knee away from your chest. So you should feel an opening here in the groin, in the pelvis, down here, okay? And just really unraveling through that right side body. Now we slide the right leg over the left, so the legs come completely together. Pick up your bottom, take it to the right hand side of your mat, and let your legs drop all the way down to the left. Relax the feet, allow the shoulders to stay down, and just let those legs fall down towards the ground. If you can't comfortably get the feet onto the floor, please do not be holding them up, because that will cause all sorts of tension. Use another pillow. Pop a prop underneath your legs and let your legs fall onto a prop, yeah? We'll unravel, coming back to center. Have a fidget. Oh, a little hip pop there. And then we'll pop the left foot on top of the right. So pressing the left knee away from you now. So I'm trying to keep the upper body as relaxed and lengthened and neutral as possible. So that's why I'm not getting you to lift the body, to take hold of the legs with the hands. I just want the upper body to stay nice and relaxed here so that the lower back can find a way to relax too. We slide the left leg over the right, pick up the bottom, take it to the left-hand side of the mat and drop both legs over to the right. Let the feet soften, try to keep that left shoulder blade down, using a prop underneath the legs if they won't naturally come this far down towards the ground. Props are your friend. Don't be afraid to use props. Taking a beautiful breath here. And then slowly coming back to center. We'll pop the soles of the feet together, open both knees wide, take a fidget, take a little rock, find some stillness, let the back soften to wherever it wants to go. Let the hips just open. Taking a gorgeous breath here, you might feel like, oh, this is a bit too much, I want to come out of it. Steady on, take a breath. It will become easier. I promise you've got to just give your body time. Don't force it into things and don't be too impatient. Let the body have time. I'm going to bring the knees together and just take the feet hip distance apart so the knees are apart as well. Now with your back, I'm just going to try and find neutral spines, taking a few pelvis tilts. So I invite you to arch your back completely off the ground, so much so that both of your hands will easily slide underneath the back. So I've lifted the back completely off the floor. Then I'm going to leave the hands underneath my back and push my back down into my hands. I'll feel my belly activate here as I do this because I'm trying to press my hands, squish them down into the floor. Then go the other way, arch the back again. See how big a space you can get. Obviously, it will depend on a natural curve of your spine as well. But the more you do it, the more mobility you will hopefully get within the back. And I'm not saying you'll always be able to arch this much, but your curve might get a little bit bigger. Same again, we press down. Now this will depend on the strength of your tummy as well. Something I will say to you that you might not want me to is that if you do have a bad back, it's very important to strengthen your core. It looks after your back. If you do not do any Pilates already, I would suggest going to the pre-recorded section, going to the beginners Pilates section and start working your way through those beginners videos, because having a strong core is going to give your back some support, okay? Now we find somewhere in the middle, so neutral spine. So I can take my hands out. I'm not imprinting my back down. I'm not curving a massive curve off. I've just got a nice neutral spine, and that's where I want my back to stay, in that relaxed curve, okay? Let's roll onto our sides. A little tip I will give you with this pillow, popping the pillow between your knees, okay? This is a great way to sleep. If you're struggling to sleep because of your back, use a pillow, pop it between your knees. It helps keep your hips, your pelvis in a nice alignment so you won't be getting those pains and strains, hopefully in the evening, that you might have been struggling with. So try these stretches, and then popping a pillow between your knees will hopefully help you get some sleep. Okay, don't be afraid to use props as well. If you do work at a desk, or if you do have problems with your back in a car and things, when you are sitting down, having a little pillow like this and sitting on your cushion, it helps just to lift your pelvis slightly so that you go for that nice, gorgeous lifted spine. So shoulders over hips, okay? So as you can see, if I take the pillow away, my back would instantly curve. I know that I could naturally sit here, but for some of you that would be a struggle, and this shape would start to come back into the back. And that is not a good shape that we're after. So a little pillow, just sitting there to try and get that gorgeous lengthened spine that will help you to enable you to have a more supportive back, a more mobile spine, just to stop us and reduce the risk of getting those injuries that are bothering you, okay? This stretching video, you could do this as many times as you like, okay? Great to do first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Get some heat, maybe a hot water bottle, have a hot bath, something like that. Place it on the back and keep moving. Very important. Keep mobile. Don't let your body get too stiff. And maybe you might want to join me on a live yoga on a Thursday morning, 7:15. That would be a great way to start your back for the day. Keep smiling.